Okay, here's example 3 for 8.1 and 8.2 word problem practice. So this time we got to reach a destination. The pilot is plotting a course that will result. So this is our resultant right here. After we add two vectors together, this is what we should get. 450 miles per hour at an angle of 30 degrees north of east. The wind is blowing 50 miles an hour to the north. Find the direction and speed the pilot should set to achieve the desired result. Okay, so I'm going to sketch a little diagram of what we got. Right? And so, alright, if this is our starting point, we want to result at 450 angle of 30 degrees north of east. North, south, west, east. So 450, 30 degrees north of east. Right? This is where we want to head. Now what we have is we know the wind is blowing 50 miles an hour to the north. Right? Well, we need to figure out where do we set this plane, and so that the plane plus the wind will result in the 450 at 30 degrees north of east. So here's what I do. It's similar to example 2. Break everything into component form, and then I can figure out where I am going. And so you can see from my picture, well, it could be a right triangle. It probably is not a right triangle. So we couldn't just use a Pythagorean theorem or so to find that, which is what most people try to do. So what we're going to do, right, is we know our result, right? We know our result. It's going to be 450 at 30 degrees north of east. And so 450 cosine 30, 450 sine 30, right? That's our result. Right? We know wind. Right? The wind is blowing 0 left and right, and 50 is our vertical. Right? And then what we don't know is our plane. Okay. So if we had this equation, then we are going to add these together, right? X plus 0 equals 450 cosine 30. And so when I figure out component form of my plane, I can do 450 cosine 30, right, minus 0, 389,711. Okay? For the y, I take my resultant, my 450 sine 30, subtract 50 from it, and that will tell me what my plane's y is, and that's 175. So here's the component form for my plane. So if I want the actual speed and direction, right? So speed is going to be the magnitude. Right? So square root of my horizontal squared plus my vertical squared. So let's see what we get. 389.711 squared plus 175 squared. My speed is actually 427.2 miles an hour. For my direction, box that up. My direction, right, if I were to look over here and take this plane, right, this plane goes 389.711 to the right, 175 up. We need the direction, and so we'll use inverse tangent here, right? So inverse tangent of the y over the x. So inverse tangent, 175 divided by 389.711. Whoops, typed it in wrong. 389, okay, that's better. So my direction is, it doesn't say what to round it to, so 24.2 degrees, and then that's measured north of east. So we should be going at 427.2 miles an hour at 24.2 degrees north of east.